Our quest to complete the Codex is getting difficult because as many times as I re-extract, it kind of keeps throwing the same one, so I might need to progress a little bit further. I've seen olives before that it gives me, so I don't think that's necessarily the case. I'll have more options later anyway. But I'm going to try to stay in Hod's area or department for as long as I can, just because this is like my safe space. And nothing can melt down up here. And nothing is scary, except for this. The very strange boy band, apparently. It creeps me out. It's not bad. It's probably a he, I guess. But whatever this thing is, I want to try to figure out what kind of work to do with it. I don't know. It's staring deeply into my soul, so let's do the dark work, the attachment work, which would be more like soul work, I'm guessing. Creeps me out. Not any more so than Satan's wood chipper. The singing machine. Every time I send someone in here, they die. I finally figured out why. They have to be babies. Like, really babies. Like, level 3. Because if they're 4 or higher in fortitude, they get eaten. I might as well just kind of show you. Now, an employee with level 4 or higher fortitude dove into the singing machine. That's what this thing is called. I guess a chainsaw sings. It's a meat grinder is what it is. So after they complete their work, an employee with level 2 or lower temperance dove into the singing machine after completing their work. And when the work result was bad, the Quiplaw counter decreased, which means that they go insane and they dive into it. Most of the time they just drive the clerks insane, but sometimes I've seen agents go insane too. Or I guess when they attack someone and those people lose their consciousness, they drag them to it and throw them in. It has decent weapons. It's a 30 to 50 damage. For a he, that's pretty impressive. It's very slow, which sucks, but the range is really long, so I'm gonna try it. We'll see. If nothing else, it's one of those throwaway weapons that I can give to people and not have them carry around olive or even wire weapons for right now. Now, the cool thing is the gift. Upon taking white damage, you recover 20% of the damage as SP, and your attack speed gets plus 10. That's incredible. I mean, the minus 4 SP sucks, but it's incredible that you recover 20% of the damage that you take, physical damage, into your mental damage. I don't know what that necessarily says about someone that gives this gift. I can't remember if it's like masochist or sadist or whatever, but whatever one it is, I think you turn into that when you get this. So the damage heals you. It's great. Feels great, right? Yeah, just phenomenal. No, thank you. I'm good. Now, I need to figure something out with the Quo. Yeah, about that. Their arms are missing. What is this? See no evil, hear no evil, because their ears are missing, and do no evil? I think that's kind of what this is suggesting. Okay, Silver Mist, you're up. Batter up, baby. Let's go. Good luck. God, that's gonna suck. I figured out that instinct work works. Well, at least for the Silver Mist. Even at a minus 4, it still sort of worked. Not gonna mess with it when I have a good thing going. So let's learn about at least 4 of these managerial stats. Anyway, when the work result was bad, Quiplaw counter lowered, and its appearance changed. Yes, we've been seeing that. When the work result was normal, the Quiplaw counter lowered, and its appearance changed. Only good days. Great. Great. When 5 or more employees died within the facility, the Quiplaw counter lowered, and its appearance changed. However, deaths caused by execution bullets were not recognized. It's another one. When 5 or more employees within the facility panicked, the Quiplaw counter lowered and its appearance changed. God, I hate these. I despise it with a fiery passion, the likes of which, well, many of you probably definitely understand. You have been through the same thing that I have, so you totally get where I'm coming from. This thing and the things like it suck. Now I'm just going to go ahead and just finish up my day and learn more about this thing, whatever this thing is. Because obviously it's a singular entity that just resembles a strange boy band. And if I had to guess, the one in the back, you can kind of sort of see it, but the one in the back is probably the actual organism, and the one up front is just like its limbs or tentacles or whatever. I'm making this thing out to be way worse than it probably is. But it's going to give me nightmares already. Those blue eyes staring deep into my soul. Oh God, kill it with fire. That thing's creepy. I told you it's the one behind it that you have to worry about. I totally called that one. I hate it so much. Also, I learned a few things about it. Non-escaping entity, great. Its Qwiplof counter is 5. I'm pretty sure it's getting close to that. So, what's also kind of neat is when 5 or more employees died within the facility, it changed. I think you saw that one. Also, if 5 or more went insane, it changed. But here's the kicker. When 3 abnormalities escapes were confirmed, the Qwiplof counter lowered and its appearance changed. Oh God, it doesn't say anything about the bird. Punishing bird goes out all the time, which is not normally like a big problem because most of these things don't actually count the bird. But this doesn't say it, so I'm gonna panic a little bit, okay? Because I don't know if it actually counts the bird or not. I'm beginning to think the bird is not actually an abnormality. Here's the thing, okay? Here's my conspiracy theory for the day. Nothing counts the punishing bird. Nothing. So the punishing bird is probably not necessarily an abnormality. It's more an ideal or an idea because it does a little bit of damage, but not a lot of bit of damage. And it's not like spectacular. But so I'm thinking it's not a physical abnormality. And I don't think physical abnormalities count then toward these. Again, just a theory. But hey, it's my theory, right? I can have theories about these little things. Now, the other thing that drives me absolutely bonkers, warning, forceful reduction of the Qwiplof counter can also change F0270. What else does a forceful reduction besides, well, possibly one of the other abnormalities that walks by it? Similar to like the Big Bad Wolf situation. Maybe there's a crazed girl band or whatever to match the crazed boy band. I don't know. Whatever it is, like its partner can probably force it. But also an arbiter-like entity that may or may not be in our future very quickly or very soon. Could possibly forcefully reduce the Qwiplof counter. No. No, thank you. That's terrifying. So this thing cannot be in my facility when we have the Arbiter. When Binna's here, this thing's gone. 100%. I'm not dealing with it. That is obnoxious, and I despise it for that. But on top of that, I have to know what the weapons are. If they're good, I might need them, and I can kind of do that and then get rid of it, like I have been. Especially like the Beehive. And people were saying they love the Beehive. I agree. The Beehive was good. It was really good. And I like the weapon, actually. Just the vibe, the whole like black and yellow, like cool weapon and armor vibe was really neat. On top of that, really good stats. And on top of that, I don't know, like a lot of other stuff. The gift was really good, actually. So I'm not sure whether or not I want that one. Only because if I fail to like get to it in time and it melts down, what's going to happen is it's going to cause a mass department-wide destruction on a grand scale that I really don't want to mess with. Oh God, I thought the boy band was the worst. I accidentally picked the Tome of Doom guy. What is this? Okay, it's one of those that you use. Boy, this is gonna suck. Let's get someone in there real quick. In case this is one of those that charges up a lot like the train. I also want to get the Silver Mist down here and see if they can start doing some work with, I'm still gonna call them the Crazed Boy Band. It just rolls off the tongue better than Dream of a Black Swan. Also, the heck happened to you? Something just happened. Hold on. So prudence went up. Justice and temperance seem to go up. Employee who read this book will experience an increase in prudence. Huh. An ancient-looking religious book about probably the Doombringer, I'm guessing, or Doom Guy, as we lovingly call him. I don't know, something of the underworld. Apparently increases prudence. I don't know how reading a book from hell itself can increase your mental fortitude. Although I guess if you withstand it, yes, it's one of those things where you look upon the thing And you say to yourself, indeed, if I can do that, I can do anything. How many people can read upon the book? Can anyone read upon the book? Are you now uncontrollable? Oh, only for a second were you uncontrollable. It's a skin prophecy. No. Oh my god, it's written in skin. That is viscera and hands, or bones at the very least. Ew, it's gross. Oh well. I'm gonna keep sending people in. I'm thinking about even sending in the same person twice and seeing what happens. Just experimenting a little bit. Mainly because they're brand new, and when we rewind and actually get decent abnormalities, I'm not going to have any of these people. And they're not going to remember the horrific things that happened to them. So, oh, that sucks for them. Great for me. Oh, hold on. The book can be read until one's prudence reaches its limit. So you can send multiple people in. And if I send the babies in, then they're going to, like, the babies will grow until they cannot grow any longer. And then maybe the book will eat them or something. I'm assuming this is like one of those monster books. But that's what this reminds me of. This book is alive, and it will try to devour the one who reads upon it when their mental fortitude is the highest. So it's kind of one of those things where it fattens up all of our precious little ones until they are nice, juicy, and their brain is real good and like supple. And then it slurps it out with a straw. You can imagine that, can't you? The prophecy has been fulfilled! Or at the very least, I know exactly what it's going to say. So, the employee who reads this book will experience an increase in prudence. We know that. The book can be read until one's prudence is maximum. It's at its limit. We know that. What we didn't know was the more one reads, the more they will become vulnerable to white damage. Which means that one of our clerks, just by staring in the wrong direction, will instantly go insane. Because, yeah, I think it's Giovanni has read it like 6 times. So I sent Juliet in just to kind of lessen that blow a little bit, because some of the other abnormalities eat people who go insane. So I'm trying to avoid that, because then they go off and then that's going to just cascade. I don't need another cascade right now. Also, any employee who panics after reading this book will perish immediately. I don't know what that means. I don't know if their soul is like ripped out of them forcefully and dragged down to the pits of hell or what. I don't want to mess with it, so instead, I'm going to go and play with Popode for the rest of the day, because at least Popode is nice to me. Now, I don't know if I have to carry all of the weapons and armor to day 50. People have to let me know that, because if I do, I have to go back and get some that I've neglected to get or that I have lost due to the losses of agents in the past. So let me know if I need to go back and get armor and weapons too, or if it's just the observation level. Because the way I read the comments, because there were like 3 or 4 people who were like, hey, you need this in order to like 100% the game and get the good ending or whatever. Or the canonical ending? One of the two. It's either the canonical or the good ending. In order to do that, I have to get 100% of the observation levels, is sort of the way I read that. I might be wrong. Either way, though, I'm going to get through this day and then I'll rewind back. So, okay, so we just got the Wall Gazer, F0118. Now, what's interesting about this one, besides the fact that it is a creator's nightmare in that it doesn't really show anything, but I'm uncomfortable showing it only because even though nothing's shown, I don't want anything too suggestive. So you probably won't see this one, but you'll see its picture, and you'll see what the heck to do with it, managerial guidelines in that. But it screamed and freaked out when the purple noon happened. Which, if you remember right, I think it's called Grant Us Love or something. Hold on, let's see if I can find it. Yes, Grant Us Love. When this happened, it freaked out. Now, anyone who kind of knows what it looks like, which I can kind of describe it, it is someone who is not dressed, kind of sitting in a corner staring at a wall. So it kind of seems like this is definitely one that would upset it, just because it has this whole idea of love, and attachment is like the biggest work that you can do with it. This one is strange. I really need to know what the managerial guidelines say about it, because Obviously, it has something to do with this. I've done a little bit more work with it. I think I've kind of sort of figured out what the heck is happening. And I think it's anytime you do too much attachment work, they scream. I don't know why. So instead, I'm going to figure it out. So the managerial guidelines say that employees with temperance level 1 may turn their head back after hearing wall gazer. If they do, they will be subject to a panic attack. They'll turn their head back? What does that mean? Like throw it straight back, like they look up at the ceiling? Or are they turning their head around, like in, God, was it The Exorcism or whatever, where the head spins all the way around? Oh, whatever. That is creepy. I guess a panic attack wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing, but still. When an attachment work was performed with this, the Qwiplof counter lowered. Oh, so when the Qwiplof counter hits 0, it screams, huh? Is that what's happening? When the work result was normal, Qwiplof counter lowered with a normal probability. When the work result was bad, it lowered with a high probability. That all makes total sense to me. And then, when the lady facing the walls, Qwiplof counter hit 0, every employee in the apartment suffered white damage. So that's what's happening. She's screaming, and she's doing white damage to everyone. Huh. About that. It kind of freaks me out when it happens. And again, I'm sorry, I'm not going to show this one. Only because I'm not certain about it. So, again, you can't see anything, but I don't want to risk it. So, I'm sorry. What is kind of cool, though, even though the outfit kind of sucks, again, it's a Teth, and even though the weapon is only a he, that's a decent weapon. White damage at very long range and a normal attack speed, especially with those stats. This could bring people back from the brink of insanity so easily. If only I could keep this one around. But I can't because I'm going to be moving around a lot and I don't want to have to blur out all sections or whole departments because of this. And I'm worried about it. I'm scared, okay? Some of these abnormalities are terrifying, and this one, for me, is terrifying. Only because I want to be able to monetize all the videos that I put up. So, anyway, I'm going to probably get the weapon. I'm going to probably ignore the suit, but I'm also going to get the next abnormality. So, bear with me. You will see the next abnormalities. An apple princess person kind of looks like a snowman, because I think they're stacked on top of one another. But that's just kind of strange, too. I got a little bit of boxes, so let's figure this one out. I was having a hard time figuring out exactly what work it did, it liked best, but eventually I stumbled on repression with the silver mist. Has to be a max level repression. I don't know if that's if that's bad or not, so I'm here to find out. That when the work result was normal, the Qwiplof counter lowered. When the work result was bad, the Qwiplof counter lowered. And when this thing escaped from its containment unit, so it is escaping, it began to spread its roots and branches along the ground of the area it was in. So a lot like the mushroom one, the small prince or whatever, those withered vines slowed employees, hampering their movement. Yes, a lot like the little prince. Once the area was completely filled with this thing's roots and branches, it moved to another to grow even more. When this thing was eventually suppressed, its flora did not disappear until the next day. Great. When this thing gets out, it's a pain. And it just continues to be a pain. Snow White's apple. Oh, you're the one that poisoned Snow White and made her sleep? That's the one, right? Snow White was with the dwarves and she fell asleep, and then the dwarves went and got a prince, and the prince kissed her. Physically assaulted her while she was asleep. I don't know. Some of those fairy tales, man, are creepy. Especially, have you read, the Grimm version of those? The original versions? Not the Disney ones. The original ones were even worse. God. I've only read, part of them as part of, I think I read them in high school or something. I don't know. I read them for a class some point. But, God, I don't recommend them unless you want to be creeped out. They are not good bedtime stories, I'll tell you that much. Gives you nightmares. Anyway, what's the ego gift look like? Max and min attack power +5 when the corresponding weapon is equipped? Oh. So is this going to be like a really nasty weapon? It's a war, so sure, I'll get this. Again, I can't have 2 weaknesses, so I'm not sure that this is going to be the outfit for me. But I can give this to other people. So it's not going to be part of my like main attack team, but it could still help me quite a bit. This is a really good candidate. Hold on, I want to double check. It's just work results, right? Yeah, just work results. This is a really good candidate for our final facility. That's the other thing I want to say is that anyone who has any suggestions about what abnormalities I should include besides the heart, that crystal heart or whatever that thing was, I need that. And I already have everything up to Popode is finalized. But besides that, let me know what abnormalities that I'm already aware of. Please, no spoilers. I'm hoping to have 100% of those before I build out my facility. But in case I don't, let me know which ones you want me to have in this facility. Because I would like to like have some strategy going into this and see if we can kind of work together to bring down the Arbiter super easy. That, and you guys know way better than I do. I couldn't have got this far without your help, so please help me beat the Arbiter even more. We almost did it before, because I guess people were saying that second stage is actually her final stage. If you can bring her down twice, you win. That's cool. So we were close. I think now, going through it this second time, we're definitely going to be over the top with it. But I'm going to need all the help I can get. So please, and thank you. Oh no, there's something about a creepy music box I don't love. Oh, I don't know why. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I just don't like it. Okay, this is one of those you got to use for a lot of time too. Jacob, you're brand new. Hop on in there, buddy. See what you can do with this thing. Hopefully it's got a pretty song to go along with it. Oh, actually, hold on. There we go. You can really hear the hauntedness of this thing. That kind of chill to the bone sort of sound. What does this do? Those who listens to Teresia's music will recover SP, including the employee playing the music box and everyone in the department where the abnormality is located. What happened? No, buddy! You were supposed to recover SP, not go completely bonkers. Here's another question. Posey has, like, really resistant to white damage. So if I send Posey in here, can they listen to it longer? Let's see. Actually, I think white damage... I think they take white damage and it's healed, if I'm not mistaken. So let's try this. Creepy music. Doing wonderful things. You're not taking any damage. Are you just driven insane after a certain amount? Hold on. Okay. End usage. I don't need you driven insane after a certain amount of time. Let's send Jacob back in there. We're still doing work with Snow White. I want these weapons at the very least. Yeah, you're just driven insane after a certain amount of time. So maybe I should just have Posey on standby. When 20 to 30 seconds have passed after the music box begins playing, the SP of the employee operating the music box will begin to fall rapidly, causing them to panic. So, no matter what, they're going to panic? Okay, fine. Well, let's play ball. You want to play ball? I'll play ball. Posey will be camped out in front of this door. So the second you go nuts, Posey is going to kick the absolute crap out of you. Of course, I could always, like, count in my head 15 seconds and then end the usage and then put them back in and do this over and over. So far, though, it's kind of useless. This is definitely not going in my final facility. That's for sure. See, this thing is completely useless. Yeah, sure. It increases people's SP. They get healed. That healing would have to be so much for this thing to be worth it. And it's only the department. It's not a facility-wide healing. So it would have to be absolutely phenomenal white healing. But the good news is now I've got a few more codexes filled out, and I think I'm at 75%. I checked before. I can check again when I'm done with this, but if my math is mathing mathily, we're at 75%. So I know 3/4 of all of the abnormalities that I could possibly know in the facility, which means that maybe like 2 or 3 more of these, and I'll know everything, or practically everything. So we're getting close. We're getting close to that final push to the finish. That feels kind of good. I'm kind of excited to do that in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching this one. And remember to take care. And goodbye!